Hey, good morning and welcome. It's Catherine Perry, the Big Vision Coach, and we are at day number 4 of Call Back Your Power. I'm so happy that you could join me today. I just want to mention real quick that if you are watching this live on Facebook, be sure and like the StreamYard app so that I can see your comments and get your questions because those are really important to me. If you are watching live on YouTube, I can see your comments directly. So be sure and post those because I really want to get your feedback on today. If you're watching this broadcast in a replay and you have a question or comment, be sure and do the hashtag replay. And some folks just write hashtag replay. It's like, thank you so much because I definitely want to know that you're watching. It helps me to know. It helps the YouTube algorithm to know. But I would also love to get your feedback on this series, what your takeaway is, your impressions, um, where you see this might have shown up in your life, and any aha moments. I just want to know how this is impacting you. I just want to say, hang on, let's get over here just a minute. Oh, pardon me for just a minute. Well, good morning, Miss Lenora. How are you today? All right, so let's jump into this. We started this series and this idea in calling back your power, as we have so many influences in our life, we have so many experiences that it causes us to um, look at this. We get fragmented, we get separated from our um, source of power, our sense of self, our sense of possibility. And a lot of things can happen. We can have experiences, both good and bad. We can have amazing experiences and something really great happening, but we don't want to lose it. So we wind up giving away our power so that we can keep it. So it's not all trauma based, but we're going to talk a little bit about some of these in between pieces today. Okay. And we've talked about how um, fears and how we're conditioned in the media and how we might have some unresolved hurts and different parts of us. And we've started on the healing of that, of reclaiming these pieces of our self. And it's so powerful. And we even talked about how we will judge ourselves and make ourselves wrong, and we have this sense of shame and blame, and that we should have known better. And I saw this really great quote, because we um, do judge ourselves. We make ourselves wrong for maybe being anxious or being afraid. We make ourselves wrong for the times that we gave away our power. And someone said, if you were cold and you were outside, you caught a chill and you were really cold and you started shivering, you would not blame yourself for shivering. You would understand that this is a response to your environment. And you would actively work on changing it. You would start doing whatever you needed to in order to get warm. Even if you had to figure out how to adapt to your situation, get out of the cold, whatever, you would actively start taking steps, but you would not be angry with yourself for shivering. But we will get angry with ourselves for feeling anxious, for feeling fearful, for being nervous. We will do that. And so this is one of the other things that we looked at, where we had to learn how to meet ourselves in love and compassion. Good morning, Miss Jody. I'm so happy that you could join us today. So what I want to talk about today, this is a moving forward. This is the step forward. I was having a conversation with a client yesterday, and I realized I've been having this kind of conversation with people lately, and I wanted to be sure and talk to you about this. A lot of people have been feeling this shift of a big change, like it's time to move forward. And that could be something happening astrologically. It could be happening energetically. It could be because it's summer. We just had the summer solstice this week and equinox, and there was this balancing of energy. And now we're kind of full on into summer, and we're um, in this kind of time where we feel more balanced within ourselves. Okay. And so we have this sense it's time to move forward, but we don't know what to move forward to. And then a lot of people are going through this kind of overwhelm where it's like their head is just full. I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this. But there's so much they want to do now, they don't know which one to do. And it just, then they get paralyzed. And I don't know if this relates to you, but I've definitely noticed that I got a head full of possibilities and not a whole lot of movement in some of the areas I want to have movement in. And when I was talking to people, here's what came up, that so much of our lives have been spent in trying, have been fear based and avoiding punishment or pain. And here's a little example that I gave my client yesterday. Imagine your house is a mess. And it's not your usual standard. You usually like to kind of keep things together, but lately your house is a mess. And you get up and you don't like it. Like, ugh, this house, I got to get to it. And then there's this anxiousness that starts happening. It'd be like, oh my gosh, if anybody came by my house and saw this, I would be so embarrassed, because they might not know that this is a temporary circumstance, that this might be how I actually am. They might judge me. And then it might be, well, I'm not taking care of myself. I'm a bad person. What kind of person lives like this? Right? And it, instead of being able to take action, everything feels still too overwhelming. You don't know exactly where to get started. And so you might get a little movement going. You might kind of clear off a kitchen counter here, or get your table there cleared off or whatever, but there's never really any movement because there just seems like every day there's more to do. But then there's this sense of there's something wrong. There's something wrong. Why can't you? What's wrong? Oh no. And as we were talking, I said, think about being a kid and when your room wasn't clean and what would happen. It wasn't because, hey, we like having an orderly room because it's easier to find your toys and your clothes, and you're going to feel calmer, and this is your standard. And you're going to find that you're mentally more at rest because all these mental tabs aren't open, all these things around you, all these undones aren't kind of yelling at you. And this happens more for women than men. Women's environments speak to them, but men go through this too. And then so there's kind of this sense of dread. And then, yeah, what if somebody does come? Oh no, you're going to be ashamed. You're going to be embarrassed. You're going to be judged. And what's on the underside of all of that is actually fear of punishment, fear of loss. And that is a very old energy. Now, like I said, there's a lot of good reasons to keep your environment clean and orderly. It doesn't have to be perfect. No, we all have our kind of like floating standard, right? But it's not aligned to what is serving you and blessing you and nurturing you. You're not keeping your home clean because it's what's best for you and it's something that you like. It makes you happy. It gives you a way to kind of think and sort through your day. You like that sense of accomplishment. You love walking into a clean kitchen or coming into your room and if nothing else got done that day, your bed's made. Right? These are, we might call this two kinds of motivations, so running to and moving from, right? When you start reclaiming your power and you are no longer trying to move from and you're not motivated by fear, initially it feels blank and weird. You almost like don't know what to do. Okay. And then it's like, well, I should be doing something. I got that healed. I feel like I could do anything if I only knew what it was, right? And there's things to do, but you're still using old, limiting, fearful language, like um, I ought to, I have to, I should get my house clean. Why? Well, I got to get it clean, otherwise something bad could happen, right? I got to. I hate this, right? That's not going to motivate you. That's going to spin you backwards. So what you do is, I'm going to get the living room cleaned. You're going to start associating a positive intention with an action, with an action. And here's what I tuned my client into was the solar plexus, which, let me see, right here, the solar plexus, heart, third eye. Okay, because when I tuned into her and other people, their third eye, their visioning is just blown wide open. And they're all in their head, and they're all in this open potential, but they are not able to get into action. So here's what we do. When we're talking about language, um, I'm going to clean the kitchen so that I don't have to think about it anymore. That's a good reason. I'm going to clean the kitchen so that when it's time to make dinner, everything's ready for me. Oh, I'm going to clean the kitchen so that I have space to think and work. I'm going to clean the kitchen so that I can feel peaceful while I have my morning coffee. You want to associate it. Okay. So now these three energy centers. Okay. Three energy centers. Here's the way to think about this. Your solar plexus is your willpower. And you could also call it I want power. Your solar plexus. I want to do this. Your heart is your why. It's your purpose. That's why when we're doing the 6 steps of the one command, we align to our heart. We align to the purpose of whatever it is that we want to create. So we got what, we got why, and then in our third eye, we're going to see how. Okay? What, why, how. Now there's other chakras, but these three will be your main drivers. What do I want to do? Why? How? Okay. So here's the steps that I took her through. The first thing, anytime that I work with a client, we find out what it is that you want. What do you want? Why? Why do you want it? And then if you had it, what would that look like for you? Sounds real simple, right? And so, but then what happens is because they're fear based and conditioned to search for problems, they're not aligned to situation, aligned to the solution. They're not really clear on what an outcome looks like. And then they're reactive, and then they're trying to explain it, and they're apologizing, and then they're mad at themselves for what they didn't do. But I said, no, let's just focus on that, so we know what you want, why you want it, what that looks like when you have success. Okay, very simple. So then I'll align with that client. There's Carolyn in the background, sweetie. Okay. So, good morning, baby. I'm babysitting today. So we just spend some time with that. And then what I have my client do is to feel themselves getting back into their body. And I want to just invite you, we're just going to take a moment that you're doing that right now. And here's what I want you to do. Now, we could call this grounding, but if you were to imagine your body like a vessel, just close your eyes for a second. And here's your body is a vessel. And there's you, that's your energy body, your me, right? What you call your me. When you think about your body and being in your body, are you fully in your body? Are you all the way in your body? When we get fearful, a lot of times we're up out of our bodies. When I talk to people, I notice that suddenly my shoulders tense up. And I'm in high tidal breathing. There's tension on top of my head. And just be aware of what you're aware of right now. And now I just want to invite you to let yourself just slip back down into your body. And picture, visualize, or imagine that you're slipping into some, like those footy pajamas, those kid pajamas that have the little feet in them. Just slip right into those. Just take a couple of breaths. And whatever tension you feel in your body, wherever you may feel resistance, or you go, what? You start kind of noticing you get a little discomfort. Just be present to it, breathe into it, and continue to slip down into your body. Now, what we're going to do with your hand, I'm going to hypnotize your hand. I'm hypnotizing your hand, okay? Put your hand on your solar plexus, right here. Put your hand on your solar plexus. Think about something you want. Are you ready for a new career? Are you ready for income stream? Are you ready? I think we've got somebody who's actively commanding for a house right now. Do you want health? Do you want more freedom? What do you want? Just tune in, hand on there, put your attention, close eyes, direct your attention to your solar plexus, and ask yourself, what do I really want? Notice what answer comes up for you. If it's blank, do not worry. Don't worry about it. But maybe there's something that you've been working on that you actively want it, and you think, yeah, I'm doing it. Why aren't I getting traction? Ask yourself, do I want whatever it is I've been telling myself I want? Do I want that business? Do I want that job? Do I really want that house? Do I really want whatever it is? And just notice, if yes, you know what yes feels like, you know what no feels like. There we go. Who was able to get an answer? If you're able to get an answer, um, actually, you could just like this and I will see your name, or you can put it in the comments. Who got an answer when you put your hand on your solar plexus? If you got a yes or no, or you heard, yeah, I want this. What did you get? Okay. All right. So then you're thinking about why you want it. Okay. So as you bring your attention to your heart and you think about what you want, you got a clear yes or no. Why do you want this? Why do you want this? Yeah. Jody says I keep seeing different things. That's fine. Thank you, Lenora. She said, I thought it would be money. It's actually peace. Wouldn't it make sense that from this state of peace, it would be easier to get whatever you want? Because we tell ourselves we got to do all this stuff in order to be peaceful. So let's just start with that peaceful, at peace. No matter what it is that you think you want, now let's tune in to at peace. Thank you, Lenora, for sharing that. Maybe it's love. You want to be able to create a space where you can have more, time for relationships that matter to you. Like if you think you may want a house and you go, hey, it's because I want people over. I want to have connection. Then it's more connection. I want peace. I want a place. I want this to be an expression of love. Maybe you want freedom. And that's a good reason to create money. That's a good reason to create a business. That's a good reason to go after a job and get your stability. Stability is a reason. And what are we talking about? We're talking about values. Breathe into that. So, right now, the master in you and the master in me, in between this space between us, let there only be love. And right now, between how you are experiencing yourself and the version of yourself that is peaceful, that is free, that is living in connection, that's living in alignment with their values, whatever came up for you between knowing and not knowing, between the way you are now and the version of yourself that you want to be, let there only be love. And all we're doing is we're just being present to that state of being, that why. I don't know who this is for. You know what? A good enough reason is you want to know yourself as someone who is capable. If you decide to do something and you want to make it happen, somewhat capability is a value. There we go. Now, in that expansion of your heart, feel that energy coming down into your solar plexus. That heart energy, whatever it is, that peace, that love, that connection. There we go. Now bring that in to your solar plexus. You'll have to pardon me. My little dog is over here and I can't do anything about it. There we go. Now tune into your solar plexus again. Ask yourself, what do you want? As you're present to that, excuse me for 1 second while I address this. 1 second. What did you discover? Thank you. Thank you. This is the beauty of live video. Jody, you tuned into freedom? I mean, tuned into your freedom, right? So, Sandra, peace. Lenora, peace. Yeah. So, we have practical things that we want to create. So, I want to invite you to come into a space of wonder with me. And we're just going to expand this. We're just going to expand this sense of, hey, if I were living in peace, if I were living in a life of freedom, whatever that looks like for you, at home in your body, right? Okay, thank you, Lenora. What would that look like? How would you know? What would be possible? So we have this idea called freedom. We have this idea called peace. We use the example of cleaning your home and taking care of, daily life business. If you were living in peace inside of yourself, how much easier would it be to keep your home in a way that really works for you? Some people need a little mess. Some people need to see that little teeny bit of clutter. Some people need it to be perfect. And most of us are in between there. How easier would it be to choose, to come up with new ideas and take action on them if you were living from the state of freedom? How much more creative could you be? What would you not be worried about? What would you not be concerned about if you were peaceful, if you were living in freedom? What would you know? What would not be a concern? There we go. And right now, you may not know, and that's okay. But now I'm going to invite you to come to your third eye. I'm just going to tap, tap, tap for just a second. Wake, wake, wake up. Wakey, wakey, eggs and bakey. Let's wake, wake, wake up our third eye. Okay? So, what I have people do is massage their third eye in a circular way. And I'm just going to invite you to notice which way it feels better. If you're going clockwise or counterclockwise, it will feel better. If it feels better, you'll notice that around your ears and your neck and even down into your chest, it'll feel a little more open. There we go. Now, we're not going to do a command yet, okay? But if you had an idea about what that could look like for you to, let's say, build a business. You want to build a business because you want to take control of your income, right? You want to have freedom, you want to make an impact. That's what I'm doing. I did this not only because, um, one, I didn't fit into most job boxes. I was always like, felt so constrained. I have a really particular thing I want to share with people, and I want to make that impact. And I want to be able to decide when and where and how I work, and feel like I have a choice in the income that I make. And I want to be able to take naps in the middle of the day. Jobs, for some reason, have a problem with that, right? But what would that look like for you if you had that peace, if you had that freedom, if you were at home in your body? What would that look like? What would your life look like? And just pick a moment. And it might just be a flash. You don't even have to build a big, elaborate thing. But what would that look like? There we go. All right. So we've got a little lens we're going to look at this next part through. We're already tuning into our bodies, right? We're tuning into this conversation we're having with ourselves. We're already taking back power by eliminating one that, being motivated by fear. This is what we're talking about. And being motivated by what you desire. It's really interesting. And there'll be a time that you feel a little blank and you're going to have to start creating intentionally every day. And that's okay. That's what the one command is for. Lenora said, being home in her body, she'd be creating your jewelry offerings, right? Absolutely. There's more outlets for people who are creators now than ever before, ever before. But there's so many local ways to serve too. Just the world's your oyster. Okay, here's our lens. For it is letting go of the past that you reclaim your power. Step through the gateway now. And when we're talking about the past, we're talking about all that old conditioning, all those old stories, everything that motivated you in the past. We're going to let go of that past and we're going to step through the gateway now. And as you look at this image, this is really similar to an image that we use a lot of times in walking people through to a decision point. And we use this in physical healing. Um, because if you see this, if you're able to watch this and you're not listening on the audio, here we're there's a bridge that you're crossing, then there's a gate, but you see there's kind of like this beautiful kind of sparkly aura around it. That's a circle. This is an energy field, and as you're walking through that energy field, you're leaving behind everything that no longer aligns to the new self that you want to become. If you want me to share this image with you, I honestly, I think I got it off of Pixabay, but I will post it in the comments. So let me know that you want to, if you want to get a copy of this image, I'd be happy to share it with you. Okay, it's not mine to sell. I got it, like I said, I got it off of Pixabay, and I'll make sure I share the uh, creator with you on that. But I just love this image. Okay, so for you right now, what would your command be in letting go of the past? What do we say? Letting go of the past and reclaiming your power. There we go. So, how about that? I don't know how I let go of the past and I reclaim my power. I only know I'm walking through the gate right now. You see how I turned that into a command? I don't know how I let go of the past and reclaim my power. I only know I'm stepping through the gateway now and I am fulfilled. So let's go for it. And then you can add your own. Okay? Is this helpful today? Did you get any ahas? Because we're going to come back and we're going to check on those points that we checked before. Okay? So let's go ahead and close our eyes and ground. And just feel your connection to the earth and the earth's connection to you. And just allow that earth energy to come up, up, up through your feet, into your knees, into your hips. As you bring your attention to your heart and you're aligning to your purpose. Eyes closed, and very softly, just roll your eyes up as if you're trying to look up through the top of your head. Picture, visualize, or imagine that you are traveling up that pole of light. The higher you go, the faster you go, and soon you find yourself at the outer edges of that velvety black void of space. Just let your energy start to release and let go. And soon you find that you've just broken through the darkness into the light of pure, open potential. Keeping your eyes up, don't strain, but here's your command. I don't know how I let go of the past, and I fully reclaim my power. I only know I am stepping through the gateway to my true and empowered self now, and I am fulfilled. And then now just let your eyes relax, let that go, let that expand out to an idea even greater that serves more good in its fulfillment. Let it go, let it go, let it go. And now just begin to actively receive. Feel yourself coming back down into your body and receiving this greater understanding from your own greater capacity, this direct download is starting to come in. A whole new understanding of peace, of freedom, of possibility, your creativity, your divine health. Just begin to actively receive that. And as that's coming in, that greater awareness, that greater state of being begins to arrive. We're just going to let that neurology that held that old programming, we're just going to let it go, let it go, let it go. And then as all that starts to release And this new energy and this new understanding and this new mind literally starts to arrive. Just allow everything to start to rewind and integrate. Rewind, rewind, rewind. And then we're going to do a little check-in. You can just kind of open your eyes now. Check and make sure you got your fingers and toes. Beautiful. Now, usually we do an internal check-in right on our heart, but we're going to come back to these three layers that we set to begin with. Now, every time we do a command, every time you go, I want to clear this belief, you do a command, you always go back and check it right away. Okay? So think about what you want. Lenora, I'm going to borrow you for a second if it's all right. I'm just going to make up that I know exactly what you want to do, if that's okay. But Lenora said, she said if she were at home, if she were free, she'd be creating her jewelry offerings. So just tune in. And if I were Lenora, I would say, I want to create beautiful jewelry. And I would check in on my solar plexus and I would see if that feels true or not true. So, whatever it is that you want right now, you or need, you want to create money, you want to make sure that all your needs are taken care of, you want to take a trip, you want to buy a new car, you want to be free to go do new things. But tune into what you want and make it a simple I want statement. I want. You can say it out loud. I want to build a business. I want to create beautiful jewelry. Something very simple. Did you get a kind of, yeah, let's do it? Did you feel an open feeling? Yeah. You might not feel anything. You have to learn how to tune into your body. And now, this is your willpower too. Willpower also connects to your frontal lobe. How about that? Oh, what's in our frontal lobe? Our third eye. Oh, how about that? So say, I will create beautiful jewelry. I will create a successful business selling beautiful jewelry. So I will, whatever it is that you want. You said, I want this. And then I said, I will do that. Hand on your heart. I will do this because, why? I will create beautiful jewelry because, why? Because I love making it. I love selling it. I love seeing my stuff on people. I love getting paid for it. It just is, I love having control over my time and my energy. Why? I will do this. Why? Notice what comes up for you. Say it might help you to say it out loud. And and the way I'm going to do this is, and you're going to put your hand on your forehead, the way I'm going to make this happen is, and you may get a word, you may see a picture, you may be a flash, but you just opened your third eye, and by putting your hand over it, you're almost remembering. I'll do this. The way I'm going to do this is, what do we say? What, why, how? The way I'm going to make this happen is, and if there's at any point you feel like you're not getting it, you would say, well, I don't see how. You would actually do a command. Like if you still don't see how, it's like, I don't see how to create a jewelry business that actually supports me. I don't know how to do that. I only know I've created a successful business now and I am fulfilled. Right? And or if you go, I don't know why, I just got to do this because I'm freaked out. Well, I want to do this. I want to make an impact. I want to help people. And helping people, it helps me. And you keep going back and forth to these 3 points. And if this is the first time if you're just tuning in, solar plexus, okay? solar plexus, heart, head, what, why, how, what, why, how. And you keep working those back and forth. Okay? Is this fun? Was this useful? Give me a little thumbs up if this made sense to you today. You got something out of it. Would love to get your feedback. Thanks for all the wonderful comments. Hey, Lenora, was that helpful? All right. Well, and then we always tell people to be sure and write this down. Now, I do have a worksheet that helps you keep track of this, and you don't even have to opt in. You just click the link, it takes you right to the Google Doc, and you can download it and start working on that right away. Okay? Lenora's saying very helpful. Sandra's saying yes. Lenora's saying this is helping me. Thank you. Jody loves it. Yeah, this is very practical. What do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? Here's how we do it. We keep commanding at each point. Okay, and then of course, if I can be of any help to you, please, please be sure and let me know. Because the seventh step is inspired action, and it is easy to get all these ideas, but we get kind of blocked up when it's like actually how to do it. By doing this process, you are going to be able to move yourself through any resistance and fear. And I would love to help you with this. And so, if you would like some help in one, getting a clearer vision, seeing where you're getting blocked, and getting just some general support, I'd love to be on your support team. And that starts with us having a powerful conversation. I have got the link in the description. Let's set up a time to talk. All right, my love. I'm going to let you go. Until next time, this is Catherine Perry, the Big Vision Coach, and I witness your mastery. Bye bye, everybody.